Swan here, and welcome to this Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues video. And Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues is a really old song by Ellington, but here it's in a great arrangement by Robben Ford with a lot of modern harmonies, a lot of modern chords. And this particular song is one of my favorites when it comes to practice soloing over chord changes, because you can play a variety of interesting scales while at the same time you can be really simple, so it's great for improvising. Okay, but this section of the video is about chords. Great chords. Okay, let us take a close look at the first turnaround of this Ain't Nobody's Business. And the first chord is an F augmented, and I have my first finger here in the 6th fret over the 2nd and the 3rd string. I have my second finger here in the 4th fret, and I have my 3rd finger here on the 8th fret, 5th string. Okay, and it moves to a A9 chord. And the way I play that one is I have my first finger here in the 3rd string, 5th fret, second finger here up in here the 4th string, 6th fret, and the 3rd finger down here in the 2nd string, and I make a movement 2 frets up and back. Okay, and then this chord moves to an F7 sharp 5. And the way I play that is I put my first finger as a bar over the 5 first strings, 6th fret, and I have my second finger here in the 4th string, 7th fret. And I actually just take the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd string. So it moves nice down to this B flat 9 chord. First finger here on the 3rd string, the 5th fret, second finger up here on the 6th string, and the 6th fret, and down here on the 4th string, also 6th fret, I have my 3rd finger, and I mute the A string through the second finger, mute the A string. Okay, and we move on. The first chord is a A minor 11. And you have the first finger here in the 2nd string, the 1st fret, second finger up here the 6th string, 5th fret, 3rd finger down on the 4th string, and 4th finger down on the 3rd string. And you mute the A string through the second finger. This string I have my first finger still down here, the 3rd fret, the 2nd string, second finger down here in the 4th string, 6th string, the 4th fret, 6th string, and my 3rd finger down on the 4th string, the same fret, and my 4th finger in the 5th fret, the 3rd string. And the next chord is a G minor 7. I have my 3rd finger over the 4 first strings, and second finger on the 6th fret and the 6th string, and the A string is muted through this second finger. I put it a little bit down. And you have this hip sounding break. And the first chord is a D minor 11. And I put my first finger as a bar over all strings in the 8th fret. Up in the 10th fret, I have my second finger on the 5th string, and I have my 3rd finger down on the 3rd string, and my 4th finger down on the 2nd string. And I just take it from the 5th string and and all the rest, all the other strings down. And it moves down to this little funny chord, which is, I look upon it as a, if you haven't, this would be a, here, it's a B flat major 7, and then I raise the 5th, so it's a B flat major sharp 5. Robben Ford, he looks upon it seen from the C, so it's a little bit different. Then it's called a different chord, but I just can't take the C here. It's impossible. So I was, to me, it's a B flat major 7 sharp 5 chord. You see the first finger here down in the 5th fret, second finger 7th fret, the 3rd string. Third finger, same fret down on the 2nd string, and your 4th finger here on the 8th fret, the 4th string. And then we move. Actually now I take the B flat major 7 chord, which is totally just symmetric. Starting up here in the 8th fret, the 4th string, and the rest is symmetry. So we have. And now follow two diminished chords. The first one is a B flat diminished, going down to a G diminished. The way I play that is I have the 5th fret, first finger here on the 4th string, second finger on the 2nd string, third finger here up on the 6th fret, the 3rd string, and 4th finger down on the 1st string. These two and these two. And then moving down a minor 3rd down to the 3rds from the, we are in the 6th here down to the 3rd fret. And now we have this nice end movement. The first chord is actually basically just a C minor 7. You probably know it's a very common chord, played like this. You can also play it like this, but this is very, very common. But then I put down my 4th finger here in the 6th fret, the 1st string, and I move up to this really nice sounding chord, which is a D minor 7 sharp 5. And the way you take that is you have your first finger on the 5th string, 5th fret, and down on the 3rd string you have the 2nd finger, also 5th fret, and the 3rd finger is here on the 2nd string, the 6th fret, and your 4th finger is down on the 1st string, 6th fret. And we move up to a E flat major 7. Here I have my first finger, as I hope you can see from these reflections. I have my first finger over the 5 first strings, the 6th fret. I have my 2nd finger here on the 3rd string, the 7th fret. I have my 3rd finger up here on the 8th fret, the 4th string. Also and down on the, also the 8th fret, but down on the 2nd string I have my 4th finger. Okay? So we have G minor 7, G minor 7 sharp 5, and we have a E flat major 7. And now next chord is a E diminished. The way you take that one's quite easy, because you just take the second finger and you just move it up here. You had it down here in the third string, you just basically move it up to the fifth string. Okay, we have and we end up at this F7 suspended 4 chord, which is you have the first finger here in the second string, and you have your second finger up here in the 8th fret, the 5th string, and you have your third finger down on the next string, down on the 4th string, and you also 8th fret, and your 4th finger down on the 3rd string. So we have this Jimi Hendrix chord, F7 sharp 9. You can see I have my first finger here in the 7th fret, the 4th string, second finger up here in the 8th fret, the 5th string. I have my third finger down on the 3rd string, same fret, and I have my 4th finger on the 9th fret, the 2nd string. As in the start, we have this B flat 9, but this time it's a little faster movement, moving to a E flat 9, where I basically just play down here in the 3 first strings, but it is a E flat 9. B flat 7, first finger over the first 4 strings, and a second finger up here in the 7th fret. And the whole turnaround ends with this F augmented as we start. Okay, let's take a close look at the second turnaround, which is very much about the same with a few variations. It starts again with this F7 augmented, and we have a B9, and we move again to F7 sharp 5, and you take the 4 middle strings, you move up a half step chromatic up here, so with a second finger here, second string, 7th fret, and you take a B flat 13. And the way you take that one is that you have the 4th on the 4th string, the 6th fret, first finger, second finger on the 7th fret, the 3rd string, and the 4th finger on the 8th fret, the 2nd string. You can also use the third finger for this one. I just happen to use the 4th finger. Okay, until now we have moving, taking just the same chords as before. This very nice sounding ending of this turnaround. And what I play is at first is basically just a E flat, going to B flat, going to E flat, going to B flat diminished, and ending with an F11. I'll show you how you can play that. You have your first finger over the 4 first strings fret. You have your second finger here on the second string, the 4th fret. Up here on the 5th fret, the 4th string, you have the 3rd finger. And on the 6th fret, the 1st string, you have your 4th finger. And you just pull off your 2 middle fingers. You know, the 2nd and the 3rd finger you pull off. You put them down again. So what you play is E flat, B flat, E flat, and now the new chord is a B flat diminished. The way you play that is you have your first finger here on the 4th string, the 5th fret. You have your second finger here on the 2nd string, same fret. You have the 3rd finger on the 6th fret, the 3rd string, and the 4th finger down on the 1st string, same fret. Symmetric build. And this is a, you have the root up here, so it's a B flat diminished. And we end this succession of chords up here on F11. The way I play that is I have my first finger on the 6th fret, 1st string. I have my second finger up here on the 5th string, the 8th fret, and also in the 8th fret, the 3rd string, I have my 3rd finger. Down on the 2nd string, I have my 4th finger. And I mute the 4th string through the 2nd finger. I mute the D string here through my 2nd finger. So we have to play finger play if you don't like it. You can, there are many ways to play this. Okay, and just as at the first turnaround we move to this Jimi Hendrix chord, the F7 sharp 9 and the B9, the E flat 9, the B7, and again to, no, because now we move down to the B theme. So instead of we have like this, going to the B flat 7, so we have like first the B9 and the B flat 9. I just take it down here, going to the B flat 7. I'm sure you know that one. It's first finger over the 4 first strings and the 2nd finger here, 7th fret on the 3rd string. And here we have a 7 sharp 5 sharp 9, and it's in the 5th fret, first finger here on the 4th string, 2nd finger here on the 3rd string, 6th fret, and the 3rd finger down on the 2nd string, and I have my 4th finger up in the 8th fret. fourth and back. And I move down to a D9. So we have okay, let's take a close look at the B theme of this Ain't Got Nothing But Blues. And you start with a D7. And the way I play that is I have my first finger here on the fourth string, the fourth fret, second finger up here on the fifth fret, the fifth string, and down on the third string, same fret, I have my third finger. And I play with my fingers, but you could play with your thumb. I actually just take the fifth, the fourth, and the third string. That's the way I play it. You can play like this. Okay, the first one was a D7. The next one is an minor 7, next one, sort of F diminished. I have my first finger here on the fourth string, 6th fret. I have my second finger down here in the 7th fret, the 3rd string, and I have my third finger up here on the 8th fret, the 5th string. I have still just these 3 strings, and then we move up to a that must be, it's a D with a F sharp in the bass. So the way I take that one is I have my first finger over the 3rd and the 4th string. Actually, I just put it down as a bar over the 4 first strings. But I just hit the 3rd and the 4th string. And then down here I have my 3rd finger on the 9th fret, the 5th string. So this is a D with an F sharp down here in the bass. So we have D7, E minor 7, chromatic up here in the bass to F diminished, and up again in the bass to F sharp, and a D with an F sharp in the bass. And now I move to this break. Whatever you want to, but basically it's just I use for this break I use either 9s. You can use it up here. Play is basically just in a G7. I have my first finger here, or the 4 first strings, and I have my second finger. Whatever, I don't know how you want to play it. Of it, I think we know that already.